Okay.
This is city number 15, the book of Nehemiah, and it's the city of Gloucester in the church of St Mary de Crypt. This is a fantastic church. It's one of three now that's not really used by a congregation. Because it's in the centre of town, there's not that many people, supposedly anyway, that can come in and use it as a congregation. Fascinating place. This very pulpit is the first pulpit where Dr. Squint preached from. And of course I'm talking about Whitfield. And through in that room over there, which I'll show you later, is the school, the Sunday school that Robert Raikes founded, that Whitfield went to. And over there on my left is the very font that Whitfield and Raikes was baptised in. Gloucester is jam-packed full of history. It's in fact a Roman town of over 1,000 years really, and it's been going strong ever since, seeping with history out of its very, very pores. Nehemiah would think back at Jerusalem, its walls broken down, and think about that with great fondness and tenderness, the history of his own Jewish people. Now you would think that Nehemiah had a divine visitation from God, a dream, a vision, a call, a voice behind him saying, do this, but he didn't. Nehemiah was a spiritual entrepreneur. He was a man with a plan, and he got that plan before the king, Artaxerxes Longomanus, and he laid it before him. He could do that because he was cup-bearer to the king, close confidant of Artaxerxes. And his plan was to gain permission to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild its walls. Alongside him, of course, was that contemporary spiritual forefather of the Jews, Ezra the scribe. I suppose in the same way it's a little bit like Whitfield and Wesley. It was Wesley who persuaded Whitfield from this very church to sail to Savannah and to do mission work amongst the tribal Indians of America. Exactly the same. As I was walking down the road here, past the place that was famous for tailoring, I remember looking at a plaque on the floor that said that this place was famous for tailoring. And it reminded me of Hudson Taylor, who on the beach in Brighton, after 24 hours of prayer and fasting, founded the China Inland Mission. And get this, invited God to join him on his missionary endeavours. Just like that spiritual entrepreneur Nehemiah, who before Artaxerxes Longomanus invited God Most High to join him on his rebuilding endeavours. And according to the goodwill of God, went back to Jerusalem and rebuilt its walls. Now what can we say from the city of Gloucester today and from Whitfield's pulpit? There's a definite need in broken Britain, is there not, to rebuild our own spiritual walls. This church and the churches of so many in Gloucester are actually taken care of, run by some godly women. Just yesterday in Oxford, I was preaching at the Word Fountain Church, run by a wonderful African lady. The thing that marks the church in the 21st century and will absolutely devastate it in the next 18 years is that there shall be no men in the church, no men in our pulpits. It's David Murrow that said, the pubs are full of men, the churches are full of geldings. I think it's true. We need some Christian men in the church to rise up. Men like Nehemiah, men like Ezra, men like Wesley, men like Whitfield. Men to become heroes. We need the men that are in the church, the deans, the bishops, the pastors, the rectors, the canons, to get off their backsides and to get out of the church and to take the word of God into our country. There's a need for a rebuilding in the land of Britain, and it needs to start now. We need some heroes of renown to invite God to join them in this and to count the cost, and it may be a devastating cost. I think it's Bishop John Hooper that is also very famous in this place, because here he was burned at the stake for his nonconformist views. The father of nonconformity, a born-again Calvinistic Zwinglian, as it were. Gloucester is teeming with history. I wonder if God is still in Gloucester. This is the book of Nehemiah, 15 of 66.
Okay.
Thank you so much.